Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Dialogues with Cancer. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm seeing a lot of loyal faces who were also there for the first episode, and I am also seeing many new faces who have joined us. So, thank you so much. Just to give you a perspective of why I started doing this show in an 8-part series is because we have to take the fear out of cancer. Cancer is just a disease, and the more you understand this disease better, the easier it becomes for you to make it less fearful. We all know that fear suppresses the immune system, and if the immune system is suppressed, the ability of the body to fight cancer becomes diminished. So, we are now in episode 2, where we are going to talk about lifestyle triggers for cancer. There is a divided opinion between how much impact our lifestyle actually has on triggering cancer. And I'd like to share uh, some kind of clinical data and studies on that, where there are statistics that show 70% in some studies, and those lifestyle triggers are food habits and how we live. However, now there is data that's coming out which is linking it to almost 90%. 90% of all cancers are related to the way we live, the way we think, the way we eat, and the way we process our emotions and respond to stress. So, if 90% of cancers can be made preventable or can have a cure where people come out of this, and I'm seeing a lot of wonderful, beautiful warriors over here who have overcome it from very, very late stage cancers. I will be inviting some of them over here. Then we've got warriors, fighters, inspirational people standing right up there and saying, "Hey, I fought cancer. Here I am. Why do you need to fear it?" And at the start of this session, I would like to clarify to everybody listening in, whether it's this group here or my followers on any social media, whether it is live on YouTube, which is happening right now, or any other platform. When we talk about holistic nutrition treatment specifically for certain kinds of cancers, we are not talking about only that treatment. Please remember that there are some people who opt for conventional treatment where it is absolutely necessary to do surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. There are other people who opt for other kinds of treatment. There are certain early stage cancers where it may not be required, but not doing holistic nutritional treatment is not an option. Why? Because when you do chemotherapy, when you do radiation, when you are doing any kind of surgery, not just cancer surgery, always remember that your body and mind are undergoing trauma. The trauma of the surgery itself, the trauma of the treatment itself, as well as side effects of these treatments. There was a study done in some hospitals in UK, which is quoted in my book, You Can Beat Cancer, where they actually mapped it back to saying that the patients were succumbing more to chemotherapy than to the cancer. Now, that will happen if your immune system, your gut, is not strong enough to take the onslaught of chemotherapy. So, what does holistic nutrition do? Holistic nutrition makes chemotherapy more efficient because it makes your gut pacified, it repairs your immune system as you take the treatments. So, your ability to fight the cancer, your ability to fight the side effects of the treatments, as well as your positivity levels are high. Now, why is positivity important in cancer treatments? Is because in any case, the cancer patient is going through chronic fatigue, muscle wasting, weakness, or digestive issues, there is an emotional overwhelming in that person about why me, whether there is that fear of whether I will be able to overcome all this. When you start implementing the holistic cancer nutrition treatment, your energy levels start shifting. When your energy levels start becoming better, the positivity starts coming in. So that is the reason positivity is very important, because the moment your energy gets better and your symptoms become less, your strength and willpower to fight the disease becomes much higher. You are not overwhelmed with fighting anal fissures, mouth ulcers, chronic fatigue, hair loss. You are focused on fighting the cancer because you are beginning to feel more energetic. So that is the reason where it's absolutely important for you, or anyone you love who is undergoing cancer treatment, whether you take conventional treatment or not, you have to work with the human body and mind to take the holistic nutritional treatment, which is a combination of physical nutrition, what you put in your mouth and your digestive system, and emotional nutrition, which is what you put into your thoughts and how you respond or react to stress. Both these things form parts and pillars of holistic nutrition, and both of them help the immune system in recovering much faster. Coming to lifestyle triggers for cancer. Now, I'd like to open this for discussion. So please mute yourself. So please unmute yourself. And I'd like some of you to tell me what you feel are the lifestyle triggers for cancer.
I'll just start my video.
Yes, Amita, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you as always.
You.
So, according to me, one of the biggest lifestyle triggers for cancer would be wrong lifestyle in terms of wrong eating habits, too much of processed food, high sugar diets, and not taking enough raw foods, and just consuming whole wheat flour or maida, as I would say. So, and of course, many others, but having all these in excess would be
Yeah,
one of the biggest triggers of cancer.
absolutely. Well put. Very well put. Anybody else?
I think
Yeah, ma'am.
stress, Rachna.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Parul.
Hi. So I think stress is the main cause for cancer and dealing with the stress because stress and emotionally.
Okay, so you're saying stress is one of the biggest triggers of
Yes,
triggering cancer. Great, wonderful. Thanks,
yes,
Parul. You were there even in the last session, and your mother is doing even better. Last we discussed, so her reports are also better.
yes,
Okay, great. Anyone else?
yes. Her
Yeah,
Yeah,
reports are
ma'am.
hi.
better.
Yeah, ma'am. Hi.
Yeah, hi. Akhil.
Yeah, chronic stress and milk, especially. Milk and milk products, whatever it may be, and chronic stress, and obviously, excess cooked food, which is oxidated before itself. That food will, trigger the cancer.
Wonderful. Thank you. Now
I
these,
have uh, I
yeah,
have one thing. Sleep. If you don't get appropriate sleep, that is one of the
absolutely.
biggest causes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well put. Most of us actually forget
I,
about sleep being the biggest tool to repair and rejuvenate us as people. And if you are not repaired, then your immune system is going to be continuously stressed. And lack of sleep will increase stress levels because your response to stress will be poor. You will be crabby. Have you ever seen somebody who hasn't slept well feel all calm and everything, unless if they meditate and do other things. So most people who have less sleep do have all the other factors in.
Rachna,
uh, yeah, yeah, Lipi.
I would like to say something because I have seen, I don't know whether I'm correct or not. When a person is like perennially suppressed, not being able to, speak up her truth, or whatever, express herself or himself, cancer sets in? Is it, so I'm talking energetically. Is
Ab-
it, yeah?
Absolutely, Lippy, very well put. A lot of people negate that, and specifically for hormonal cancers, which happen earlier than age related. There is a difference between a hormonal cancer happening at the age of 65 or 70 for a man or a woman, and happening at 25, 30, 35, 40. So the reason is because of either suppression, like you said, or anger.
Yes.
So there is also something known as angry ovaries in ovarian cancer patients, which is linked to
When you are constantly suppressed and you yourself are not able to, you are not that strong enough, then you start getting angry, and that also you suppress.
absolutely, absolutely. So it's not that you are, some women are wonderfully strong, but sometimes channelizing this anger
Yes.
becomes an issue. They start feeling overwhelmed. All of us feel overwhelmed when we are angry, upset. But if we have an outburst and it gets out, so it's like an emotional toxin getting out. If we have cleansed that emotional toxin and moved on, versus holding that grudge and walking around with unresolved issue that continuously feed our anger, then you may be a very strong person, but your channelizing of the anger is not happening through no fault of yours. It's just that you're sometimes people are not even aware of that, right? So great, wonderfully put. I will jump to everything that everybody over here has said is absolutely right. But let's step back a bit and say cancer is triggered by an inflammatory lifestyle. Anything that raises inflammation levels inside the body is going to create an environment of welcoming the multiplying of bad cells, cancer cells, and suppressing the immune system. So, stress increases inflammation. Bad food habits, like Amita said, increases inflammation. Lack of sleep increases inflammation. Feelings of anger, resentment, suppression increase inflammation. So when you look at all these factors and then you actually get your clinical markers tested, this is not just something that we are saying, oh, she's angry or he is angry, and nothing's going to happen. It can't trigger cancer. A lot of people without the presence of an allergy, an infection, any kind of surgery, or any reason, normal healthy people have high inflammation markers. That's the first stage at which you need to start changing your lifestyle. And everything that all of you talked about is related to your lifestyle. So if the cause of the cancer is your lifestyle, then the cure of the cancer is also fixing that lifestyle. And it sounds almost too easy to be true, but it is. So if you have given the wrong input to your lifestyle, then you've got to start changing that input, and you will see the miracle of the human mind and body starting to repair itself. Please remember that the Almighty made us to repair, but we are not giving it the right inputs. So when we talk about our lifestyle, our stress levels, our environmental toxins, which are also part of lifestyle, what you inhale, you may choose to be around as a passive smoker around people. You may choose to use non-stick pans, which have shown to be in breast milk. So they are very, very harmful for the tiny baby whose immune system is still developing, and that is why childhood cancers are rising right now. It's one of the triggers, the toxins in the womb and the toxins in our food that the mother is taking in. All these become part of our lifestyle. So 90% is your lifestyle. Now, when we get into specifics of these lifestyle in my book, I have actually listed 16 habits. So what are the 16 habits, that 16 things in your lifestyle which are very specific? So, it's very, it's may seem very esoteric or high level for people to say, okay, how do I know whether I am at risk? What is my trigger for inflammation? Some people are calm in the most stressful situation. So they will say that, or they will not acknowledge the stress. So what are the things in your lifestyle which you need to watch out for in your day-to-day habits? So I'm just going to read out what I wrote. Number one is, of course, weight. When anyone is obese, their inflammation levels will be high. There are inflammation markers for obese people called interleukin 6. Apart from that, your C-reactive protein and ESR will be high, even without the presence of any infection or allergy. And you will be at risk for cancer and type 2 diabetes. So it is so easy to reduce your risk by just losing weight. Get on to a healthy weight loss program and you have cut the risk. You consume too much food. Okay, I'm not talking about over here the kind of food, like Amita talked about the kind of food, which is also correct. I'm just talking about quantities. There are people who will have heapfuls. They may have their vegetables, they may have their fruits and nuts, but their carbohydrate consumption is also high. We all have a gene known as the SIRT1 gene, SIRT numerical 1, SIRT1 gene, which or protein. It's both referred to as gene and protein, and it is clinically shown as it's called as our anti-aging gene. Now that doesn't mean that you will never age if you activate that gene. It means that you slow down the progression of damage and degeneration if you activate the gene. The simplest way to activate that gene is to reduce the number of the amount of food that you eat by 20% of your appetite. Even in Ayurveda, there is this concept of Akash. What is Akash? It's empty space. You need to have empty space on your thali. You need to have empty space in your stomach. The signal from the brain, from the stomach to the brain takes 20 minutes. We all know that. It takes 20 minutes to go. In those 20 minutes, you can consume 2000 calories more because you're going on eating. So eating slowly and just stopping before you are full is going to reduce inflammation levels. And it's been clinically shown in every single study. You eat less cooked oil, but no uncooked oil. Now, this is very, very important. A lot of people come to me and then they say, oh, but we don't eat oil. Our food is mostly bland and boiled. You need to have good fats to reduce inflammation levels. Very, very important. What are good fats? Good fats are unsaturated cold pressed fats, which do not freeze when you put them in a refrigerator. So that's why they are unsaturated. Flaxseed oil, extra virgin olive oil, nuts and seeds, avocados. Most people don't eat them. I have had a lot of cases of people who eat very hygienically made, healthy, home cooked food, never eat out. Bless you, Parul. Never eat out, and they have high inflammation levels, they get cancer. Why? Because this is missing in most of our diets. The unsaturated fat, uncooked, is the easiest way to reduce anxiety, repair the gut, and reduce inflammation. All three of which will reduce your risk of cancer. Number 4, you eat processed and cured meats and cheeses. Now, processed meats in every study And there are enough articles, there's enough data that is there. The data is also quoted in my book, which has linked to forget cancer. Let's talk about the minor evils first. Processed meats will raise your blood pressure. They will impact your kidneys. They will raise your uric acid levels. In women, they will trigger PCOS. So forget going to cancer. There are already so many issues that people face with processed meats. What are processed meats? Chicken, ham, sausages, salami. These are all processed meats. Processed cheeses, again, a similar thing happens. It also triggers type 2 diabetes. Now, should you eliminate them completely from your diet? For meats, I would be a purist and say, yes, please do. Because the harm that a processed meat can do is outweighs, it doesn't have any benefits. If you are a non-vegetarian and want to eat non-vegetarian food once a week, it is better that you go for free range or farm fed or grass fed meats. And please remember that a lot of people say that they do not eat red meat, but they eat chicken. The leg of a chicken is red meat. The breast is not. So that's also a myth going around. You have packaged foods regularly. Now there is a fine balance that the human mind and body need. You want to have your 3 spoons of Bikaneri save every day. Do 20 other things to negate the side effects of that. Those 3 spoons are not going to derail you and increase your risk of cancer. But there are other things that you will need to do, like eating your vegetables, eating unsaturated fat, not having processed meats, reducing stress levels, keeping your weight in range, which are all things which will be able to give you that cheat meal of packaged food that you want to have. So life is all about balance, and so is reducing the risk of cancer. You don't consume enough fiber. I don't know too many people, at least the ones who come to me, who poop enough. It's very, very important for us to release toxins on a daily basis. And when people say they do it once a day, it's not enough. You need to poop 2 to 3 times a day for your colon to be cleansed. People will eat copious amounts of food and then they will go only once. How will the food ever get ejected? So, having enough fiber is going to make you poop more and cleanse. Stomach cancers, colorectal cancer, colon cancer are lifestyle cancers that are rising rapidly. Even children are getting them. So increase natural fiber in your diet, like raw salads with extra virgin olive oil, flaxseed oil, nuts and seeds. Uh, Increase high fiber fruits in your diet. Have fruits as snacks versus having them as dessert, because the benefit of fruits as snack is much much higher. So most of us end up getting hunger pangs at 4 or 5 o'clock. Instead of reaching for the samosa or the biscuit, it's better to just pick up an apple and a bowl of papaya, which can benefit you. And then even then, if you want to have something salty, have 10 pistachios. Pistachios are anxiety releasing. They are rich in fiber, protein, and good fat. You have insufficient phytonutrients. What are phytonutrients? Anyone?
Sources of plant foods.
Absolutely, Anika. So anything, all the nutrients available in plant foods in their natural form are phytonutrients, and those are the most effective cancer fighting foods available to us. Most effective. And what do? We cook our vegetables till they are completely dead of all the phytonutrients, because phytonutrients are unstable to heat. They will get killed when you overcook. They will get killed when you cook in open pan. They will get killed when you have left the food out for too long, if you want to increase your phytonutrients, increase the quantity of your fruits and vegetables and change the way you cook them. So the stir fries, which take about 10 minutes to make, which get cooked in the steam of the foods, the vegetables themselves, are the best way to capture and keep the phytonutrients there. And also, the amount of vegetables that you eat needs to be 50% of your meal. I don't know anyone, I don't actually know any cancer patient also who came to me at the beginning of treatment and was eating this much vegetables. So the moment we fix that, what do phytonutrients do? When you increase the quantity of phytonutrients, they start infesting your gut with natural probiotics. These natural probiotics in turn start absorbing the nutrients available in these vegetables. When the absorption of nutrients increases, your immune system becomes strong. When the immune system becomes strong, your ability to fight the cancer becomes much, much stronger. So, those of you who are having your vegetables as a little chutney, please increase the size. You don't exercise. Point number 8. A lot of people don't. It's very hard to believe in today's times when there is so much information and so many apps and so much help available, but a lot of people don't exercise. Lack of exercise, even if you are in your body weight range, is going to increase your inflammation levels and anxiety levels. Exercise has been known to regenerate neurons, has been known to increase balance of the spine and the body. Also has been known to reduce inflammation related to heart conditions, cancer, even for women with breast cancer. Just walking, just simple 40 minutes of walking daily was seen in preventing risk and aiding recovery. So both groups, women who had a high risk of cancer had a reduced risk after just incorporating simple exercise, and women who were undergoing cancer treatment were able to um, uh, reduce their inflammation markers when they started incorporating this. Point number 9, you exercise, but you exercise too much. There is such a thing as exercising too much. Why? Because it creates oxidative stress, and oxidative stress is going to increase inflammation levels. We are made for balance. The moment our balance is shifted, if we work too hard, eat too much, have an increased response to stress, our immune systems are going to get unstable. Similarly, for exercise, uh, the right amount of exercise is extremely important. Now, what is the right balance of exercise? And I will only, whenever I talk to each one of you about cancer, I will only talk about what is proven clinically. So, moderate walking, slow jogging, and yoga with pranayams. When you have a combination of this, then the inflammation levels are the lowest and recovery is the fastest. But how do you draw this balance? For some people, it's a bit too much to do all three. So allocate your days. If you want to prevent your risk of getting cancer, then you must walk 3 to 4 times a week, minimum 40 minutes. It's at the 21st minute of your walking that the anti-inflammatory effects of the moderate aerobic activity of walking start kicking in to reduce inflammation. So people walk for 20 minutes and stop. No, you've got to walk for 40 minutes. 3 to 4 days a week at a moderate pace. If you hurry, if you huff and puff, always remember, what does hurry do? Hurrying will increase inflammation because it increases anxiety and stress. So whatever exercise you are doing and whatever activity that you are doing has to be in an unhurried manner that reduces response to stress. Moderate walking 3 to 4 days a week, yoga 3 days a week. Gentle yoga, no power yoga, no hot yoga. Do traditional yoga, hold your poses, listen to music while you do it. Just before we started Dialogues on Cancer, Asha is here. Asha is a wonderful warrior who's going to be on our next show, next episode. She and I were laughing about, she's a yoga teacher herself, and we were talking about creating 7 playlists, one for each day, because when you combine the power of music therapy with yoga and pranayam, the effects multiply. These are called mind body interventions. Mind body interventions um, have clinically been proven to increase the telomere length of at the end of our DNA. So there's an institute in Canada, I think Tom Baker Institute, where they did a research on groups of women undergoing breast cancer treatment, and they checked telomere length at the start of mind body interventions, and at the end of it, a few weeks later, the telomeres actually lengthened. Telomeres will shorten with age, degenerative changes, and disease, and they will lengthen when there is repair work happening. So recovery was faster when mind body interventions, along with conventional treatment and nutrition, physical nutrition treatment, the impact of mind body interventions was much higher. Number 10, what Sangeeta said, you sleep less. Now, what is less? A lot of people say, yeah, I sleep enough. Less is 6 hours. Anything less than 7 hours is less sleep. Why? Because your damage is on a daily basis. Our wear and tear is on a daily basis. So when we don't sleep 7 or 8 hours, and the new guidelines released last year from the National Sleep Foundation are 8 to 9 hours. I don't know anyone who sleeps for 9 hours except maybe me. It's Lippy is also saying, very nice. Just remember that every single day that you are sleeping, you are repairing the oxidative damage and reducing inflammation and anxiety so that the next day can be as good and not fatigued. What happens when there is a sleep deficit? So the repair work is 70%, 30% is left. Then the next day, the repair work of another 30% is left. It keeps piling up. When lack of sleep piles up, that's when inflammation starts increasing. Your moods will not be good. Your digestion will be poor. You will start getting sugary or salt cravings, which means you will start gaining weight because you will want to have that snack. It suppresses the hormone leptin, which gives us the hunger signals. It increases blood pressure, which means you're putting your heart and kidneys at risk. So it's not just risk of cancer, that's towards the end. Lack of sleep is completely messing up your health. And all you need to do is just sleep. Prepare yourself to sleep. Make sure that your room is dark with dark curtains or blinds. Unwind with a cup of hot chamomile tea with honey, raw organic honey, because raw organic honey pacifies the gut. It has natural probiotics. Chamomile tea repairs the gut and also makes you a little woozy. So people who have difficulty in dozing off can sleep better with chamomile tea. But make sure that your sleep is never ever less than 7 hours, because that will increase your risk of inflammation and cancer. Point 11, you don't drink enough water. A lot of people cringe when I tell them you have to drink water. No, 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 I'll have to go to the bathroom often. Go, yeah. What's the problem in going to the bathroom often? I always have a glass of water next to me and I keep sipping, drinking. Even at night, I wake up in the middle of the night and I will have water. I have 2 bottles of water lying next to me. Water will flush out toxins. Please always remember. And pure water, there is no replacement. Don't count your green teas, coffees as liquid intake. Unless if you have a very, very specific kidney issue where temporarily you need to reduce your water intake, and that also is temporary, because we have helped people with chronic kidney issues finally repair it if they have come to us in a stage where they were not on dialysis, and then the water intake has become normal. Toxins will not be released, circulation will not be good if your water intake is not good. Also remember how you need to drink your water. A lot of people do water therapy. They will sit with a bottle of water and they will want to finish it. Do your body needs nourishment. Do you eat once a week? No, you eat every day because you need nourishment on a daily basis. Similarly, for water, you need to spread out your water because your brain cells are going to get dehydrated throughout the day. So drink 200 ml water every 90 minutes of waking time rather than sitting with a bottle and drinking and then not drinking the whole day. Drinking more water, sitting with a bottle of water is also going to dilute your nutrients. So absorption of nutrients in your gut is going to be poor because you drank too much water. It also does trigger certain issues with the urinary bladder and kidneys. In many cases, the water can go into the brain. Those are serious cases. We've read about those cases where then you need to go to the ER. So, like with everything else in life, consistency, moderation, including water. People who don't drink enough water need to start drinking 200 ml every 90 minutes of waking time so that their circulation can increase. When circulation increases, absorption of nutrients starts increasing. Your blood pressure in the blood vessels starts reducing. So your anxiety levels start coming down. And water in the presence of uh, more fiber will aid expelling of toxins from the liver and colon. It makes the liver more effective in expelling toxins from the uh, colon. 12, you have vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Thankfully, thanks to the pandemic, a lot of people are getting their vitamin D and B12 levels checked. That's great. But a lot of people are also not getting their magnesium levels checked. It's very important to check all 3 levels. Reduced magnesium is going to give you muscle spasms, it's going to give you cramps, poor quality of sleep, which again impacts inflammation, and just having magnesium either in your nuts and seeds which are high in magnesium, or taking a 500 mg tablet of magnesium before sleeping will increase magnesium levels. The other important mineral which is specifically to women for preventing hormonal cancers is selenium. 200 mcg of selenium has been shown to cut the risk of breast cancer in women by 80%. So vitamins and minerals are sometimes not absorbed from food. Sometimes the foods that they are present in are not available. Feel free to consult a nutrition expert and get the dosages prescribed. But for selenium, 200 mcg of selenium to women who even have regular hormonal fluctuations. And most women I know after the age of 30 start having that. Um, Definitely for women who are going through or have achieved menopause, because menopause increases the risk of hormonal cancers. So just having 200 mcg selenium with a meal anytime during the day, once a day, will cut your risk. For vitamin D, I would recommend do not have the 60,000 sachet, because that puts pressure on the kidneys. Like we need our food and water on a consistent basis, we need our vitamin D also consistently. So don't get into B12 injections, don't get into sachets of vitamin D once a week or once in 15 days. Start having 5,000 IU a day. Tablets are all available across Amazon with the chemist. Like I said, thanks to the pandemic, we have more availability of these immune boosting vitamins. Lastly, most importantly in minerals and vitamins is zinc. 1.9 billion people across the world, this is a WHO data, are deficit in zinc. And zinc increases immunity. Zinc will reduce your risk of asthma, allergies. It completely cuts inflammation inside. 15 mg of zinc twice a day is wonderful for immunity. You have to combine that with vitamin C for higher absorption. So you must have 3000 mg of vitamin C during the day, after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, if your inflammation levels are high and you are looking at reducing your risk. If your inflammation levels are not high, then between 1.5 to 2 grams is okay. So 1500 to 2000 is absolutely fine. 13, you are exposed to toxins. Now, toxins are of various kinds. We discussed the non-stick, we discussed second-hand smoke, we discussed the environmental toxins. A lot of people will shrug their shoulders and say, "What do I do? I live in a polluted place. There's lots that you can do. You can have plants in the house because they give you natural oxygen and purify the air. You can have camphor in your home running 24 hours to, uh, to reduce the number of toxins and purify the air again. You can do 20 to 25 minutes of calming pranayams to increase the oxygen within you, which releases the toxins. And even the minerals and vitamins that I spoke about earlier, specifically zinc and vitamin C, will release environmental toxins from your body much, much faster. 14, you take hormone pills or have been through IVF. This again has been known to increase the risk of hormonal cancers, specifically ovarian cancer. So, uh, all all the women out there who are looking at taking any hormonal treatments, immediately after, and you feel you need to take them and there is no option, immediately after delivery you need to get on a preventive nutrition program to pacify your hormones, reduce your inflammation levels, and decrease your risk of hormonal cancers. 15, you believe in fads and miracle myths. This is one of my favorites. Right. You go for a quick fix. There are people for quick fixes on Google. They will type something. They will want one food, or they will want one kind of lifestyle with that they will do for a short spurt of their lives and fix their problem. That's not how the human body is made. The human body is made for consistent balance. So some people will come to me and say, "Oh, I have my green tea and I am healthy." Just having green tea will not reduce your risk of inflammation. Other people will get into, uh, you know, Obesity is a cause for hormonal cancers. Let me get on to a keto diet to lose weight. What does the keto diet do in the short term? It definitely helps you lose weight. But in the medium term, not even in the long term, there is an impact on the kidneys. That much protein without the presence of small quantities of carbohydrates and large quantities of vegetables is going to mess up your kidneys because the load is high. Some people go vegan. Now, for me, all this is fad. Why is vegan fad? Because a lot of cases have come to me with chronic fatigue. Chronic fatigue raises inflammation levels. Every human being is made differently. I don't say don't eat animal proteins. I don't say don't eat any food groups. There's certain things in your lifestyle that you need to do to balance everything out. More than 5 to 7% of animal protein is going to raise your risk of cancer. Again, proven clinical data. On a keto diet, 90% of people who go on a keto diet are not vegetarians. They are eating animal protein. So they are increasing the inflammation, putting the load on their kidneys. Number 16. You are in a toxic relationship. Um, who said? Somebody talked about, was it Lippy? Yes. Suppression, anger. Toxic relationships take a toll. And I would not say toxic relationships always in the context of either it's either a spouse, or it could even be a parent or a child or a friend where you are feeling the anger and suppression, but you are unable to channelize it, you are unable to talk about it. What does that do? That starts building up, just like lack of sleep starts building up inside. That anxiety on a day-to-day basis, that stress that you are carrying on a day-to-day basis, converts into very often fear, which starts suppressing the immune system. Anxiety, in any case, is known to strip the gut. So people who are more anxious will have more acidity, bloating. So if your gut is stripped, then in any case, your immune system is going to be poor. We all know everything is linked to a healthy gut. You can't be healthy if your gut is not healthy. So if you are in a toxic relationship, there are two things very easily that you can do. If you need to continue to be there, change your response to stress with meditations, pranayams. What meditation and pranayam will do is that it will stop making things matter. Why did he or she say this to me, and thinking about it for 3 days, and getting into a spiral bind about it will stop, because meditation remaps your neurons. What does it do? The same thing that the person will be doing, you will look at that person and you will say, okay, he's like that, I've known it for many years. She's like that, I've known it for many years. Whoever that person is. So what happens? Suddenly you stop reacting. There's another thing that happens if you stop reacting. The person who is bothering you starts seeing your change in behavior, and then starts to wonder why your behavior has changed. That itself can lead to the repairing of the relationship. It takes baby steps. If it doesn't repair, it doesn't matter. You have protected yourself, done some self nurturing and self love by getting into meditation and breath work to change your response to stress. So, very often you can't just get up and leave the person. So, this is the best way to deal with it. And the last one, I had said 16, I actually have 17. You have stopped listening to your body and mind. How many of you have done that at some point or the other? What do you understand by stop listening to your body and mind? Anyone?
Yeah, like Stop listening to body is when your body is giving you signals, telling you by way of fatigue, tiredness, sleepiness, that take rest. Or when we are overfeeding ourselves in a restaurant. Okay, I've come after 3 months. Okay, it's for today. We keep on eating, you know and after that constant drink also together. So I think these are the signals of the body. And mind also does tell us about that the mind is tired now, the brain is tired. So
Yeah.
just chill out, relax, close your eyes. Not too much of what do you call it, this devices, laptops, phones. But we don't listen. We said, okay, today, from tomorrow we will.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well put, Lipi. We always say we are not in touch. There is in Ayurveda and yoga, there is this subtle body and gross body. Most of us are at the gross body level. Then there is the subtle body level. The subtle body level is that when you are seeing the sign and implementing what nurtures you. At the gross body level, you may see the signs, but you will ignore. A lot of working professionals will wake up in the morning with a puffy face and go to work, or if you're working from home, also will have those long hours. They know that they are tired. They know they need to sleep, but they are not being able to self nurture because they are putting something else, something more important before themselves. So, what does that do? It again, like lack of sleep, builds up a deficit and increases inflammation levels. So, I will stop over here and take questions because there are a lot of lifestyle triggers that we have already discussed. And then in the last segment, we will pull in a wonderful, very, very young woman who has fought a late stage cancer and overcome it. So, I'll take questions now before bringing her in.
Hi, ma'am. This is Vandana. Am I audible to you?
Yes, absolutely. I can see you and hear
How
you.
are you?
Very good. How are you, Vandana?
I'm fine. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to know a few things as you spoke about these things like taking tablets of vitamin D, zinc, and all that. Basically, I would like to know like what are the natural sources of these vitamins, minerals, and magnesium so that we can, basically involve these things in our day-to-day meals just to increase our immunity.
Vandana, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds
Mm-hmm.
have abundance of all three.
Mm-hmm.
Issue is that 90% of people have a compromised gut. So absorption does not happen even if you want to eat natural. So if you want to eat natural, there are three things that need to be present. First of all, your gut needs to be perfect in absorption. Second, you need to live in the mountains with pure air. Third, you don't need to have any stress because stress is an anti-nutrient and strips nutrition. If you can't do that, then supplementation is advised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I mean, what are the natural sources of zinc specifically?
Nuts and seeds. Zinc
Nuts and
in
seeds.
seeds,
Okay.
and in non-veg, there are certain seafoods that have oysters are very high in zinc.
Okay. Okay. Any specific kind of dry fruit, nuts?
Uh,
Uh,
Brazil nuts and walnuts
okay.
are all have. But remember, zinc is water soluble, so zinc needs to have, and also zinc absorption is more with vitamin C. So
Okay.
naturally rich, all fruits and vegetables are naturally rich in vitamin C. So if you
Okay.
combine nuts and seeds with fruits as a snack,
Mm-hmm.
that is the best way to absorb
Okay.
all
Okay.
these. Yeah, do
That's
not soak your almonds because that will take away the vitamin B, which is water
okay.
soluble.
So we have to eat them raw,
Yeah,
right?
because you are eating them. There's this old saying that if you are getting forgetful, you should start eating almonds.
Hmm.
Now, why? Because they have B vitamins. B vitamins are water soluble vitamins. Now, when you
Mhm.
soak them, they get destroyed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. And actually, I have two, three questions. Somewhere you have used this term chamomile tea.
Yes.
So what is that?
It's a
I
kind of plant. So you
okay.
can look at it online, and it's also the tea bags are also available on Amazon, so you can purchase this. It's originally from
Okay.
China.
From
China. So
China. Okay. Okay. All right. And ma'am, how about kids? Like, if I don't know, I mean, basically what is their inflammations levels are because in I mean, particularly, I mean, what things we can follow that their inflammation is not high, and I mean, what all things we
yeah,
can do, and what all
children
that
need
in the
yeah.
yeah.
Vanna, children need very simple things to be healthy. They definitely need their fruits and vegetables.
Hmm.
No child is going to eat their fruits and vegetables if you tell them to eat them.
Exactly.
You are going to have they children will not tell you will not do what you tell them to do. They will
Hmm.
what you do. So you have to lead by example as a parent and eat your fruits and vegetables. They will watch you for a week, 10 days, and automatically start copying you. So that's
Correct.
the best way to get kids to be healthy. Number one. Number two, sleep.
Hmm.
Most kids I know don't sleep enough.
Hmm.
When adults need up to 9 hours of sleep, kids need 10 to 11 hours of sleep. Now tell me any kid that sleeps for 10 to 11 hours, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you can control these two things,
Hmm.
your battle is won. You will suddenly start seeing that your child is sharper, doing better at school. When they reach puberty, they don't gain weight, they don't get pimples. These are great. Even if you have to tell a child who is reached puberty to eat healthy, these are the tools that you use. Saying, "Don't you want to look handsome or don't you want to look pretty?" I'm sorry,
Hmm.
these are superficial, but it works with kids.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will be taller to a smaller kid. And with
Right.
kids of brain development age, which is up to the age of 8 years, you give them both saturated and unsaturated fat. So unlike with adults, where I would say don't have ghee and coconut and all that stuff, with children you must give them butter and ghee because
Okay.
because it aids their brain development.
Right. Right. So I myself is a, cancer patient, ma'am. I'm sure you would know, and I am just following the diet provided by you and the lifestyle changes which we can do. So I mean, I have one query in my mind that I mean, anyhow it impacts. It may impact my children as well. I mean,
What cancer did you have?
blood cancer. It was
Leukemia.
AML.
Okay, AML, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And what age did you have it?
I'm 36.
Yes, there would be a background to that.
Okay. Okay.
And how old are your children?
One is 11, another one is just 1.5.
How sweet. Vandana, just make sure that they eat their vegetables and fruits. The phytonutrients are the most important. Don't look for fads. Don't look for powders.
Okay.
Don't look for external sources for them.
Great, great. All natural sources.
All natural sources which are available in fruits and vegetables and
Mm-hmm.
sleep and sunshine.
Okay, okay.
These are
Any
the
kind of
best.
supplements they need?
No, not unless if they're exhibiting any signs of malnutrition. Children don't need supplements till there
Hmm.
are frequent allergies, colds, coughs, malnutrition.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll take
Yeah.
more questions because others will
Sure,
also.
sure. Yeah, yeah. That's all. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Uh, Hi, ma'am. This is
Hi.
Kranti here.
Yes, hi,
Hi,
Kanti.
how are you? Recently, my mom diagnosed with endometrium stage 3 cancer,
Right.
and she went with hysterostomy last week, and doctors were suggesting chemotherapy and radiation for her for in next 3 weeks. So, I want to know like how nutrition will help these endometrium cancer to fight back.
Yeah. So, like I have actually, I've already covered this earlier in the talk that
Hmm.
the impact of chemotherapy. How old is your mother?
It's 60 years.
60 years. So the impact of chemotherapy, surgery, and if later the doctors recommend that she goes for radiation, can be reduced, and these treatments can be made more effective, and she can come out of it with a better quality of life. Very, very
Understood.
simply put, you are increasing her chances of not only living well today but living longer tomorrow. That is the role of holistic nutrition.
Ma'am, I have registered with you, like, for the session to get the nutrition. I'm just waiting for that so that my I can start with my
I
mother.
wanted you to attend today's dialogues on cancer to
Yeah.
get an idea of everything, and then we start the treatment. We can start next week, no problem.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Yes, anyone else with questions?
ये बच्चा 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 बाबा कोई बात नहीं कोई बात नहीं.
You can mute yourself. So sweet.
Rachna, I have a question.
Yeah, yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
How do we know that the cancer a person is having? It is because of the genes he carried from his parents, or it is because of the environmental factors?
Jasmine, once the cancer is already there, then the focus should not be why what was the trigger, but how the trigger can be reduced and the person should recover. Right? Sometimes genetic cancers do not happen. There
This
always
is true.
be some some kind of trigger for it to happen. But sometimes there are certain mutations which you cannot help. Like in small children, you cannot help if the mutation has happened. Now, the mutation could have happened in the womb. It could have the child could have been born with the mutation for no fault of the mother or any lifestyle. Then the focus becomes how do you move ahead and treat the person. And always remember that holistic treatment deals with epigenetics. So if the gene response if it is the trigger is genes, what does epigenetics do? Epigenetics changes the response of the gene. So it reduces the response of the gene, thereby making it dormant. How do you get into epigenetics? By changing your lifestyle.
Thank you.
I think we will now call.
Rachna, I have a question.
Yes, Kanika. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Actually, like you mentioned many a times that we do need phytonutrients and we must have food mostly in the raw form and more of salads along with oil
No,
and
I don't
everything.
say mostly in the raw form. I say that you need
I
to
mean,
mix of both.
yeah, that is what. So
Yeah.
I agree totally with you. But in some cases, like nowadays, every other day, we do hear in the news that certain vegetables are, coated with harmful chemicals. And especially if you must have heard in case of broccoli or cabbage, there's a kind of, I don't know if it's a myth or a fact, that there's a worm inside that. So we do need to boil it properly. So what is your say on that?
Yeah. So first of all, there are certain things you can have raw and others you must not. When
Okay.
when I spoke about vegetables, you need to, like I said, you need to stir fry them, and it just takes 10 minutes for them to
Okay.
be cooked yet crunchy and for anything to die out. When we are talking about raw items, we are talking about salad items, lettuce, cucumber, onions, carrots. When you are eating them raw, the simplest rule to remember is to wash them well. You're never going to get into a situation then that you will have any danger from them or any infection from them. Wash them with tap water, soak them with tap water with salt. Salt is the best cleanser. And as a
Okay.
second step, soak them in drinking water with salt. So you have a two-step process
Okay.
of cleansing, and then you drain them, and then they are absolutely safe to have.
Okay. And salt doesn't like de-nourish them of any nutrients or minerals. No.
And in homes, try using sea salt. Don't use processed table salt.
Okay, okay. And just one more question. Like my mother-in-law is a cancer survivor. She had breast cancer, although it was just detected at a very early stage, and she doesn't have to go through chemotherapy. She only had radiations, and now she's perfectly fine. And last year she has left her chemo drug also, which she was having for last 5 years. So now she's fine. And I got to know that her mother also like had cancer. So it can be a case like it's in genes.
Yes.
So like what are the chances, or how can I prevent like my husband and my daughter? I have a daughter, she's 9 months old, so I'm just concerned about that. How can I prevent that?
Uh, Again, like I said, and Jasmine also asked that question. Uh, to reduce the response of the gene, you have to fix the lifestyle of the person for it to be healthy so that the gene remains dormant. In fact, the next guest that we are going to get is a BRCA positive breast cancer warrior. Uh, I think I froze. Can you guys hear
But
me?
in case of a 9 month old, like how can I
I think you're
what
okay.
can I do?
Yeah. In case of a 9 month old, you give her a nice, loving environment and cuddle and love her. The apart from the foods that you will nourish her, I am sure as a mother you're already giving her, mashed veggies and all the nutrients
Yeah.
that she needs. The importance of the physical touch is what is going to make her feel emotionally secure. The importance of not seeing anything traumatic like you and your husband fighting or the home environment not being toxic is going to keep her immune system strong, not just at 9 months, but at 9 years and at 19 years. It's very, very important to give her the right physical and emotional nutrition by creating a loving environment that will keep the gene response of the bad gene low. So remember that always. And touch. I had a preterm daughter. She was in the ICU, and I had read lots of books. At that time, there was no Google and all that. She's 23 years old now. And I had read
Yeah.
about the touch for preterm babies. And I used to, initially, when she was too thin and I used to feel scared, I used to call my mother. She used to come and massage her. And then after that, slowly, when she started gaining her health, in 4 months time she had reached her milestone, the milestones, but even after that, even today, if you ask her, we are a very cuddly mother daughter. We will hold and squeeze and kiss each other, and we will not be uh, inhibited about it. And I can see Dr. Bhavna laughing about it because she's seen that fairly often.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Guys, we don't have that much time. We will take more questions if people want. But I want to get Parul Kral here. Parul, say hi so that you are on the speaker mode.
Hi everyone. Can everyone see me?
Parul, we can
Yes, yes. Hi, Parul.
Hi.
So Parul looks like she is 17 years old, but she's going to be 31 end of this month. And
Yes.
she was 27 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And the time that she was diagnosed with breast cancer was the time that her mother was battling with cancer. Parul is BRCA positive, and during the course of her own treatment for cancer, her mother passed away. We always talk about the emotional stability of the cancer patient and how the cancer patient's recovery rate is much faster when they are emotionally stable. Parul did not have that emotional stability because she was battling with her own cancer and the loss of her mother. And she's BRCA positive. What does BRCA positive do? It increases the risk of hormonal cancers by 90% in the first 3 years. So even if you are declared cancer free, There is a sword dangling on your head saying, I need to beat recurrence, I need to beat recurrence, I need to beat recurrence, which creates a spiral of anxiety. Parul is going to complete 3 years in a few months' time, so the sword is going to be off, and she's here. So, Parul, tell us what made you come out of this in just 10 months' time, despite all the odds.
I'll share some background first. Like Rachna said, when my mother was on ventilator, I got to know that I have got cancer, and that too late stage cancer. And my mother was on her deathbed because of the side effects of chemotherapy and radiations. Because her kidney, her liver, almost everything failed. So she was there because of the side effects of the conventional treatment. So when I got to know that I also have cancer, I was very skeptical about the conventional treatments. I was not ready to take the treatments, and there were suicidal thoughts. I didn't want to live at all. But somehow at that point, my husband really supported me, and he motivated me to have the treatment. And my doctors and my husband were uh, uh, they were trying to convince me that there will be no side effects. Everyone's journey is different. But somewhere I started my treatment after that, but somewhere deep in my heart I was not convinced at all, because I have seen my mother struggling a lot because of the side effects of cancer, and there were recurrence also in my mother's case. So I didn't want to have that recurrence, I didn't want to have that side effects, but I was at the same time very skeptical about the treatment. So I was having treatment, I was going for chemotherapy sessions. So one day, I think it was during the last few chemotherapy sessions, my husband was sitting besides me and he was reading a magazine. And in that magazine, he got to know about Rachna. And he got to know about that there is something known as holistic healing. There is a treatment that can prevent the side effects of the conventional treatment. There is a treatment that can decrease the chances of recurrence. So I was very happy at that moment when I got to know that there is a treatment, there is a hope. So we immediately contacted Rachna, and Rachna gave us all the hopes, and she gave us charts of detox and other charts, and there were pranayams in that chart. I started doing it, but I was already in so much of trauma that I was not ready to take any change further in my life. So I was quite I was like, I don't want to eat this, I don't want to eat that, I want some tasty foods, I want some chocolates, I want some coffee and everything. But due to my husband's motivating words and Rachna's scolding, I started again with my diet, and I started doing pranayams. And surprisingly, after 1 month of detox, so I had burst anal fissures, I had nausea before the Rachna's treatment. I had numbness in my hands and legs, and also I was just puking all the time. But after 1 month of having that detox diet of Rachna's, my anal fissures were gone. They were almost gone, and my energy levels also increased, and it's been 2.5 years now. I don't feel any challenge in running or in doing my pranayams or energy levels. There is no nausea, there is no anal fissure right now. So my health has gradually improved a lot due to the diet which I'm following right now. And by profession, I'm a chartered accountant, and now I have become a holistic healer as well. Like Rachna healed me, I'm gonna give back to the society now, and I'm gonna heal other people as well. Hopefully they will get better with my treatment as well. So I just want to say that just be hopeful in life. This is not the end. There are treatments in this world which can reduce the side effect, which can reduce the recurrence. I am 100% sure that I'm not gonna get this ever again in my life, because the diet which I'm following is a superb diet. before having cancer, I had loads of inflammation in my body. I had acidity, I had bloating. My husband has seen me crying due to acidity, due to bloating. But after this treatment of Rachna's, after following the holistic healing path, I am out of that inflammation circle, and I do not have acidity, I do not have bloating today. So I'm very happy with the diet. And also I'm very happy that I'm gonna heal other people now. So I would just need everyone's love and blessings for that.
Absolutely. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, Parul, what Parul missed out telling everyone she's so humble and she is still a child herself is the fact that any holistic cancer nutrition coach healer can give any amount of diet plans, exercises, but if the patient does not have the willpower and motivation to follow, they are not going to get well. So she, after the initial scolding, where I actually scolded her like a school principal, she rebooted, and if you want to read the full account of her journey, it's there in my book. You guys can order it from Amazon. But uh, she literally rebooted, and she said, "Okay, I don't want recurrence." That was her biggest motivating factor. That I
Yes.
don't want recurrence. I want to just focus on getting okay. And it's not like the anal fissures and nausea disappeared completely. They disappeared and then they came back, because whenever we all get well, we all start forgetting how much we suffered. And I can see Asha smiling. So I can see Parul also smiling. So it happens to all of us. We get healthy, then we say, okay, how does it matter? Little bit here, little bit there. Then you want to organize something, we want to hurry up something. Again, your inflammation levels are going to build up, which is why I keep emphasizing the fact about unhurry. Um, Parul has quit her job. She wants to. When she was undergoing treatment with me, she had told me just once. She said, "I want to stand up on stage after this and motivate people to be cancer free." And she followed through. It was not just her recovery process talking at that point in time. She followed through. She recovered, clinically became negative, reports continue to be good. She along with her job, she did the certification course as a holistic healer. uh, Most people don't even get, as chartered accountant, time to do that, but her motivation levels were so high that she did the course, she completed the course, and now she's quit her job and she's saying, I want to move to this, because there are so many people who fear cancer, and here I am standing as an example. So hats off, Parul.
Thank you. It's all because of you.
Yes, any more questions?
Hi, Rachna. This is Sunita.
Hi, Sunita.
I just wanted to know that if we take so much of supplementation, are those kind of going to give us some side effects or something?
If you are going to take supplements without supervision of a nutrition expert, who will monitor your doses as per your body and mind's requirement, it is the same with supplements as with medications. Medications have huge side effects, much more than supplements, and uh, uh, the medication side effects are also written on the pack and written on various websites. But when you are prescribed medications, you don't even look at those. You just pop the pills and then they start eroding your gut, which also starts reducing your immunity. But you take those, but supplements don't have any of those side effects. They in fact will end up protecting you. But remember to go to the right specialist for the right treatment. You will go to a doctor for an emergency situation. Similarly, you have to go to a nutrition expert and not Dr. Google. for the right doses. No, you are on mute. If you can unmute yourself and.
Yes, sorry. I was asking about the vitamin C and the zinc that you just now mentioned.
So that is important. And like I said, I gave you a scenario saying if you live in the mountains uh, with clear, non-polluted air, do not have any pollution, have a wonderful gut. Please have only fruits and vegetables and do your pranayams, and you will be absolutely fine and not get a disease. In our daily lives, if you're living in a large city, we have something known as anti-nutrients. What do anti-nutrients do? They stop absorption of nutrients from food. What are those? Environmental toxins, polluted air, anxiety and stress, lack of sleep. Now, if you can
Right.
address all these, and then take supplements, otherwise take supplements.
As I have reached my menopause,
One sec. Guys, please mute yourselves. Only the person who is talking should be unmuted.
yeah, so as I have reached my menopause, I am 50. Right now,
oh, sorry. Wait. Unmute yourself.
I think the noise is from her end only.
Okay. Yeah.
Right now I'm taking my calcium and one more Gemcal.
It's so read the label. The calcium should always be calcium citrate and not carbonate. Calcium carbonate increases the risk of stones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it should be calcium citrate.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm taking one more vitamin, multivitamin Felicita OD, that has been prescribed by my physician.
Again, check if the multivitamin is made in the lab or from natural extracts. So a multivitamin made from natural extracts is going to be softer on your gut and better bioavailable. So there are enough vitamins. You can do your own research online. I always tell everyone that, if you go to Amazon.in or any of these other platforms, there are lots of supplements available. For a multivitamin, always read the labels. Look for natural, look for reviews. So supplements that have more reviews means that they are tried and tested.
So would you suggest
read the reviews, read all the reviews to see what is the focus that you want. What do you want that supplement to do for you?
So can you suggest some natural supplement?
I will not be able to give brands.
Okay.
I do not. I will say read the label. There are enough. You can do this research on your own and say natural extract supplements. Always go for those. Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, that's something like I wanted to know. Can I also, learn this holistic nutrition, because I have already done my diploma in nutrition right now. That was a basic course. I was very much interested. So
the course.
So how can I go for it?
The course that Parul is talking about was created by me, but it's an internationally accredited course. It is not the holistic nutrition course that you would study in any college, because most nutrition and dietetics courses only focus on calories and food hygiene and food safety. My course, my course is talking about understanding how nutrition is absorbed, understanding diseases, connection between the two, and understanding inflammation levels, as well as how do you reduce the risk of diseases, and how do you become a family coach to, and you could utilize this knowledge for yourself, or you could set up a practice because it is internationally accredited. So it has elements of how to nourish young children. It has elements of teenagers, stressed out working executives, women with hormonal issues, It has sections on restorative yoga, on emotional counseling, um, and also as a practitioner, what would you need to do when you counsel other people. So the reason I created this course, which was an amalgamation of my education, certification, and I re-educate myself every year because that's important in our fields, and my practice for the last 12 years of treating patients and seeing how they are responding clinically. So a lot of this information is not available because it is what I have seen in my practice and how recovery and reversal of diseases has happened. So anyone can do this course. The focus of my course is to create more and more healers so that we can do exactly what I'm doing today, help more people.
Yeah, that is what connected me to you. So, so how can I get the details for
Yeah,
that?
just go on to the restore.community. That's the URL.
Okay.
And you will see the
Okay.
course over there. You can get it. The restore.community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia. Great. I think this has been a wonderful, slightly elongated version of Dialogues on Cancer. In the next episode, which is next to next Friday, each one of you who have already registered will be getting login details. We will also have another guest who's a cancer warrior and survivor. The purpose of our series is to take the fear out of cancer and treat it like any other disease so that we can not only overcome it but have a wonderful quality of life. So, on that note, thank you everyone. And a special thanks to Parul. Parul, please give us your last words. So that
Sorry?
please
Okay, last words.
please close the session.
So first of all, I'll say I love you a lot. Just stay the way you are and just stay with me. Always motivate me. And lastly, I would say, um, when I was going through so much trauma in my life, when I was going through that bad phase in my life, I always used to ask God, why me? Why me? But somehow today I realized, because maybe I wanted to heal other people, maybe I wanted to change others' life. I had to go through all that. And my real sister, she's hearing impaired. She can't listen, she can't speak. And she's trying to be happy, enjoy her life every day. So whenever I see her, whenever I see her happy. So that time I feel, if she can be happy, why not me? So that's the shift from why me to why not me. And I'm just trying my best to keep me healthy and fit. And everyone can be out of cancer. Just don't have fear of cancer. You'll be all right. For sure, you will be all right.
Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. On that positive note, we will call it a day. Wish you all a wonderful weekend. And like Parul says, stay positive. Everything else is going to work out. Okay.
Thanks
Bye.
very much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Rachna. Thank you.
Bye.